Hello and welcome back everyone. Today I have a video going over some examples of players who have flopped in the final. It can be heartbreaking to watch or fun to watch depending on how the player played the game and how you feel about that player. A player that was able to do enough to traverse through the social game, the political game, winning maybe some daily challenges, winning 1 to 5 eliminations to make it to the final, all for them to stumble when it matters most. Now I picked a handful of players and moments to highlight in this video. Of course I didn't pick every single time somebody messed up in the final, so as I'm going through this video, and if you have a player that comes to your mind that I don't mention in this video, please let me know down in the comments section below. But without further ado, let's start off in season 39 talking about Jay. On Battle for a New Champion, he had one of, if not the best social games of anyone on the cast. He had the most alliance members, he was well insulated, and didn't see a single elimination during the season. That is until he got to the final. After the finalists lost in stage 1, losing some of the grand prize money, everybody had to vote on sending one person into the elimination, and that was Cory. He was able to choose any of the finalists he would want to play against, and he chose Jay, thinking he would be the easiest to beat in an elimination. And he wasn't wrong. Jay throughout the season talked a really tough game. With no vets in sight, he acted like some sort of mob boss, telling the house what to do and how to vote. But when it came down to relying on his skills and himself, he came up short. Jay must have felt like he played the perfect game going through the entire season and making the final, something that he wanted to do for years, and then being out in 7th place. I would deem it a bit of karma in a way. Georgia didn't fare too well in season 33's final. Now to be fair, this final is deemed by many to be the toughest final in the challenge's history. Something I stand by to this day, no matter how many times TJ tries to tell us that every final is the toughest. I mean, having to run and bike a total of 24 miles in a desert is no joke, so I don't even blame Georgia for being disqualified from the season, finishing in 8th place. The same thing happened with Mattie, who also disqualified but finished in 7th place. Two people that had a really tough time in a final was Devin and Cheyenne in Rivals 3. Looking back on the season, it's actually impressive on just how they got here in the first place. They had lost an elimination, was getting ready to fly back home, when a couple of disqualifications and family emergencies led to them getting a second chance. They also had to ride an incredible amount of luck to get here because they were voted in over and over and over again, sent into the draw, and was able to circumnavigate the draw every single time. They weren't the best competitors on the season, and understandably, they didn't fare well in the final. They would battle from behind as much as they could until it just wasn't going to work out and they just wanted to finish.
I don't like this at all.
What, the height or the hiking?
Everything.
Which they did. Devin and Cheyenne finished in 3rd place, splitting the 3rd place prize money. A competitor that I root for quite a bit, but let's be real, they flopped in the season 29 Invasion of the Champion final is Cory. Cory was having an incredible start to his The Challenge career. In season 27, his rookie season, he was able to make the final and get 2nd place. Then he was in a really strong duo with Ashley Mitchell, and they made a deep run into the season, but was surprisingly eliminated by Nate and Christina. In his 3rd season, he was able to get all the way through the game and make it back to the final, his 2nd in 3 seasons. Unfortunately for Cory, he did not have a good final like he did in season 27. Instead, in season 29, he was flopping.
Read the sign. Is there a triangle in the sign?
On the guy's side, Cory had the 2nd best final experience behind CT. But this final in particular was really, really tough for him. He didn't get any of the puzzles.
I don't understand anything that you say right now, so let's just do it.
It felt like he couldn't help out any of his partners on any given day.
Once again, it's 3rd place. and I just feel defeated.
He was looked at as an anchor, and it is one of his worst performances in a final to date. Devin, who didn't fare too well in the season 23 final.
We can do this, we have a strong team, but Devin's just blowing this for us.
Kind of what I mentioned for Georgia. Like, how can you blame anyone for not doing well in the extreme weather of the desert? Devin knew how to play the regular season to make the final, as she made it in season 23 and season 25, but the toughest part for her was the final in both of those challenge seasons. I would say she held her own in season 25, but in season 23, let's just say the final wasn't built for her.
Come on, Dad! You're lucky I'm walking as it is because I'm about to sit down.
Someone who has described herself as being built for comfort is Aneesa, and she finds herself on this list for her performance in the Duel 2 final. At this point of Aneesa's career, she still was viewed as a physically intimidating player. Duel 2 was her 6th season, having been to one final and very close to many others. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to think coming into the final that Aneesa should have been looked at as someone competing for first against Rachel, especially with a rookie alongside them. But Aneesa lagged behind. She finished in last place behind everyone, something that wouldn't really change over the course of her challenge career in the rare instances she makes the final.
If I ever do one of these again, I'm definitely going to train.
Aneesa wouldn't make the final in All-Stars Rivals, but she was on the season with Sam, who did come up short in the final. I wouldn't say Sam flopped necessarily, as I think coming into the final, many people believed two other teams were the front runners. But in one section, Sam hindered her and Frank's chances of completing the shoulder the load checkpoint, greatly affecting them from finishing higher than 3rd place.
I just can't. Yes, you can.
Now, to be fair to Sam, she was dealing with a nagging knee injury, though her partner Frank has a doctorate in physical therapy and says that he checked her knee out and that there was nothing wrong with it. So I guess you can take that for what it is, depending on who you believe. From dunes to tundra, Faysa was coming into total madness as a Big Brother rookie. He used his size to his advantage to get a red skull and make the final. He thought he would mop the floor with the competition, but in reality, it didn't happen. The altitude, sheer cold, and his size were all factors that played against him. Faysa, who looked to be more athletic than Bananas and Kyle, lost steam in the final day, finishing last for the men.
I took the lead in the math problem, and I ended up dropping the ball.
Johnny went on to win on top of a windy, snowy mountain against a physically intimidating player. Which reminds me of another season that ended the exact same way. In season 22, CT and DM were crushing the final. They were racking up first place in the checkpoints, except for the last one that mattered. A race up the mountain to the finish line. CT was having trouble with the cold. The altitude and his bigger frame made it difficult to trudge through the snow. Johnny and his partner would pass them and take home first place. But those are all the examples that I have for this video. What do you think about them? Let me know down in the comment section below. And like I mentioned earlier, I didn't mention every single time somebody messed up in the final. So if there was a moment that came to you when watching through this video and I didn't mention the person in this video, please let me know down in the comments section below. I want to hear what you have to say. Out of all the examples I listed out, who was the most shocking and who do you think had the best opportunity to win if they didn't flop? Let me know that as well. And I want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really soon with more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.